Drewski McGillicuddy's House Movie Review.
Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and guess what? I finally watched House from 1985. Not that I've never seen House from 1985, but a viewer sent me a copy of it and wanted me to review it, so I figure it's the least I could do. It's a wonderful addition to the collection, and so now we're going to talk about it. The House is directed by Steve Miner. Some of you horror fans out there might know him as the director of Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3, as well as Halloween H2O. In my opinion, the worst in the franchise. But we're not here to talk about that. But if you want to fight about it, let me know, and then we'll get to it. But anyway, one of these days I'll do my Halloween reviews, and you can see how I really feel. Because people talk about Halloween too much. But they don't talk about House nearly enough. The House is a 1985 horror comedy drama that stars, what's his name? Look, I'm going to read it. William Catt as Roger Cobb. And it also has George Wendt. A lot of you might remember George Wendt from Cheers. But then again, a lot of you might not be old enough to remember or even know what Cheers is. So, anyway, George plays his nosy neighbor Harold. Story takes place, it's about a troubled writer who recently, I'm not sure, does it really say? It doesn't really say how long ago he lost his son. Now his aunt, the whole time, keeps telling him it was the house that what did it. It was the house what did it. So his aunt, eventually ends up committing suicide in the house. So he goes to live there because he wants to work on his new book, his memoirs of the War of Vietnam. And so he goes to the house, and strange things start happening. But before we get into it, I look at this. What the fuck is this? I mean, I know it's 1985, but Jesus Christ. I mean, was everything gay in 1985?
Yes.
What the fuck? Anyway, now that we got that out of the way, I want to talk about one of the best, because I was watching this movie, and this scene scared the shit out of me. All right, his son's just laying there playing around in the graveyard. A fucking hand comes up out of nowhere, scared the shit out of me. But that is what we call an effective jump scare. Now, like I said, the story rolls around he's a troubled writer. He lost his son, his wife left him, and then his aunt dies. And, he hasn't wrote a hit book in a while. And his publisher doesn't think anybody's going to want to read his memoirs of Vietnam. But those are some of the coolest scenes in the movie is the flashbacks to Vietnam. And the guy from Night Court, which some of you might also not remember because you're not old enough. I don't know how old the people who watch this shit is. All right? But anyway, that's Richard Mole. And the funny thing about his character is he ends up being one of the ghosts that's haunting the house. Spoiler alert. But one thing I wanted to mention about his character is, oh my god, these makeup effects are dated as hell. But they're better than any CGI you'll ever get today, except for maybe like the Marvel movies, but those are big hideout. Even some of the Marvel movies have questionable CGI. But these practical effects, although dated, are still hilarious. So it technically holds up. Like one of the main monsters in the movie, which annoys the shit out of me because it's like that Alvin and the Chipmunk voice where they just had somebody talk real high pitch and then they sped it up a little bit. But just the crazy shit that happens in this movie, like the closet monster, that shit still holds up. I mean, that's some scary stuff. But he sees this closet monster, and the nosy neighbor doesn't believe him, I guess. Is that what happens? He doesn't believe him?
No,
So-
he thinks he's having flashbacks.
Yeah. So he sees the closet monster, and the nosy neighbor thinks he's just having flashbacks. So he sets up a bunch of video cameras, and he's going to catch it on video. But wouldn't you know it, every time he goes to record it, it doesn't show up. So one day he has Harold come over to watch a movie, but he's not going to watch a movie. He just wanted him to come over so that he could help him catch this monster in the closet. Now, this isn't even where the movie takes off. The movie doesn't take off until he actually, I don't know if I should tell you people. If you haven't seen this movie, shame on you. But yeah, there's some crazy shit going on in this movie. Like I said, the special effects, they're not, you know, there's a lot of 80s special effects that hold up well, like John Carpenter's The Thing. And then there's a lot that don't, like this movie. But it still has its charm. It's still worth your time. So go check it out. I mean, the cover alone, I mean, let's show that one more time. Look at this cover. One of the best covers ever. And one of the YouTubers I watch was talking about how the hand never makes an appearance in the movie. Well, that's just not true. But it doesn't look like the hand on the cover. It's the hand from the fat monster that he shoots and thinks is his wife. It's a long story. I can't really explain everything without giving everything away. But basically, it's just a story about a guy trying to write a book in a haunted house at the same time trying to get his son back and live happily ever after, which, you know, you'll have to watch the movie yourself to find out if that's what happens or not. I mean, I can't spell it out for you any better than that, other than to say that if I had to put a grade on it, I'd give it a B+. 4 out of 10, I guess. Because, you know, some of the stuff doesn't hold up. But overall, it's a hell of a movie. And it belongs on any horror fan's shelf. Or even, you know, any casual movie fan that likes to collect movies. You don't have to be a fan of horror because this movie's hilarious as well as being scary in parts. Like I said, that first jump scare got me. All right, just watch the movie, okay? I'm telling you to watch the movie if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, you know you should watch it because it's good. It's good stuff. And thanks for sending me my very own copy, Ryan. Now I'll just have to get my hands on all the sequels. All right, everybody. So have you seen House? Did you like it? If not, why not? What's not to like? All right. Help me. Anyway, like the video, subscribe, share the video, you know, help me out here, huh? You know, hey, oh, by the way, I'm going to Horror Hound tomorrow. Maybe I'll film some stuff and you people can see what I'm like out in public. Call it a vlog. I'll be Adam the Woo, but Drewski the McGillicuddy. That sounds right.
I'm glad you did.
I'm glad you did.